Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Tuesday, June 26th at 11:39 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. You're looking at the UAH satellite-based temperatures of the lower global atmosphere, which are unadjusted, unhomogenized, untainted, thanks to Dr. Roy Spencer at the University of Alabama, Huntsburg. Yes, that's what that means. And I want to report that you are currently living in the longest cooling on the planet, even greater than the 1988 to 1989 drop down, which lasted 2 years and 5 months. We have now exceeded that at 2 years, 6 months drop down in global temperature, as predicted as we descend into the grand solar minimum. As far as global warming, the temperatures have not changed on average since 1998. That's a 20-year average, no global warming whatsoever. And we're in the largest drop for the longest period of time in over 5 decades now. We've just exceeded the 3 decade mark. Right here, this drop down in 83 to 85, we've just exceeded it. We've tied it. 2 years, 6 months of cooling, tying the 30 plus year cooling event, which was back here in 1983. We have just exceeded the length of that, and we're waiting on the June data. Heads up. Welcome to the grand solar minimum. Wildfire in Northern California grows to 13,000 acres with 17% containment. 600 homes threatened, 22 already destroyed. Over 300 personnel there fighting this fire. A wildfire threatening hundreds of homes in Lake County grew even larger overnight as high temperatures and breezy conditions continued to stoke the blaze. The Pawnee fire grew to 13,000 acres, was 17% contained on Tuesday, the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection said on Monday evening. Check it out. This is Wayne Friedman. Heads up. So we're going to be watching this closely. New growth in the Durango area blaze. This is the 416 fire as high temps settle in. The entire center of the continent is on fire right now, basically. We're going to get to it. The 416 fire grew by 234 acres Monday, and containment estimates dropped to 36% as crews prepare to start controlled burns on the western flank, which is completely uncontained, to try to stop this baby in its tracks before the monsoons get here. Heads up to everyone working on this fire. Not a single structure has been destroyed. Just days before a so-called heat wave, Syracuse nearly breaks the record for cold. This is New York. While this weekend could feel hotter than 100, if you believe the global warming alarmists, this morning temperatures dropped to 46 degrees in Syracuse. That is a fact. That the temperature at Hancock International Airport dropped to 46 degrees today, tying for the third coldest June 26 on record, and came close to the 42 degrees set back in 1970, which is the record cold. So we're talking record cold in Syracuse, New York. Yet, here's the ABC weather report. Forget this cold. Warming is real. Now, global warming has stalled. We just showed you there's no global warming for decades. Same temperature as back in the early 80s. And we're in the largest temperature drop-off for 50 years on the planet Earth. For the longest period of time, continuous drop in temperature has been over 0.6 degrees C, and we're now exceeding 2 years and 6 months of temperature drop on Earth. Thank you, Roy Spencer. Now, global warming has stalled according to the ABC weatherman's must report bitterly cold weather in NSW, that's New South Wales, and likely record low June temps for Broken Hill. So he breaks off sternly to lecture any backsliders that global warming doesn't mean that cold temperatures won't be recorded. Yeah, this is record low, all-time record low temperatures for Broken Hill, which has nothing to do with global warming and everything to do with the fact that we're well aware of climate cycles. Climate is not linear. There is no upward trend. It's up and down and up and down. And we're in the longest downtrend for 5 decades. And if June comes in lower, heads up, We're continuing to be correct on our predictions because it's not a theory, folks. It's facts. The sun controls the climate. If you don't believe it, keep watching. Oh, hail! Check out the hail damage. That used to be rhubarb and apparently a maple tree. And that's the first hail damage boom of the day. Get your hail netting. One of our subscribers in the Colorado Springs area got hail netting 72 hours before crops were destroyed in his entire region, and his garden is fine because he watches the channel. Oh, hail. Yes, he watches the channel. Police report meth rock size hail in Kansas. No, you didn't. What? Yes, proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Get out of Kansas. Police report meth rock size hail in Kansas. Get out of Kansas. Severe storms and heavy rain expected today from mid-Mississippi Valley into the Ohio-Tennessee valleys and the southeast. Heat wave starts Wednesday in the Midwest. A wrapped-up area of low pressure over the Midwest will trigger strong to severe thunderstorms and locally heavy to excessive rain from the mid-Mississippi Valley into the Ohio-Tennessee valleys today, including Chi-Town, Nashville, St. Louis. The most significant hazards will be dangerous winds, large hail, maybe crack rock sized, and even a few tornadoes. High pressure will develop behind the system, leading to widespread heat wave. If you see peach, you're on fire. If you see red, you're in red flag warnings, and there is a fire. Heads up. Here are thunderstorm watches and warnings up here in the Dakotas. If you want links, check out weather.gov, click on your county, and you'll get the necessary updates you need. We are a weather-ready nation, and Oppenheimer Ranch is a weather-ready nation ambassador. Record cold start to Tuesday. This is all-time records ever recorded since the dawn of time in Ottawa. Al, are you listening? This is the coldest ever in the morning on June 26th ever in Ottawa. It's summer there, and this is the coldest it's ever been. I thought there, but didn't you? Never seen this late in June. Snow falls in parts of Newfoundland. It may be summer, but snow is falling in the northern hemisphere in the middle of summer in Newfoundland. John Jackson Lussman said there were roughly 5 centimeters of snow Tuesday morning on the deck of his cabin near Berguillot, Newfoundland. I've never seen this late in June. I've seen it in June, but I can't remember it being this late and this much, said Lushman, who shared a photo of flowers he had planted on Sunday that were now buried. Environment Canada said the snowfall set a record for June 26. No thanks to Al Gore, who said there would be no more snow. And this is the middle of summer, Al. You couldn't have been more of an idiot, a liar, a fearmonger, and a fraud. Bordeaux said 3.2 centimeters of snow fell in Gander on June 20th, 1996. The city also saw 0.8 centimeters of snow back in 52. Nothing like this. What's going on? Summer snow in Newfoundland covers roads, prompts warnings. I think it's ridiculous. I mean, it's June 26th and it's snowing, one woman told NTV as flurries spun around her. Summer, in the middle of summer. Boom! Kenyan farmers count losses as weather shifts from one extreme to another. Yes, cold in Kenya. Kenya in Africa. A majority of crop farmers in Kenya are counting losses as the country's weather oscillates from cold to colder and wet to cold to wetter. The worst affected are potato and tomato farmers because it's barely 3 degrees centigrade. You're not getting any ripe tomatoes there. The cold weather has followed a season of more than normal rainfall that led to the deaths of livestock, destruction of property, including crops, and now more crops being destroyed. The cold weather affected Nairobi, central parts of the Rift Valley. There are huge cracks there. It is hitting the fan in Africa. Put it on the map, Ice Age farmer. Farmers in America are killing themselves in staggering numbers, and it's only going to continue to increase as we descend into the grand solar minimum and the temperature drops off the chart and we move from a zonal flow with the jet stream to a meridional flow where we're going up into the Arctic and down towards the equator, creating larger hailstones, huge droughts, and deluges, as time immemorial has shown us in the historical record. And now we know strategically using plasma physics, solar science, and paleoclimatology to make unprecedented predictions of the future, which are all coming true. Don't kill yourself. Start a permaculture farm. Survive and thrive in the future. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance in a grand solar minimum. You've been watching 0.67 degrees C drop since February 2016. The largest temperature drop since 1998. The largest continuous drop, 2.5 years, since 1983. 3 decades. We have to go back to the 50s to see something as significant as we're now recording. But if it continues for 6 more months, we have to go back to 1910. And then if it continues for 6 months after that, we'll have to go back to 1801. Because we are in a major 1,000-year drop down. Seismic update. There has been no 5 or greater explosion at the Kilauea caldera in over 24 hours. This is officially a downtick in activity that we're reporting here at the ranch. There has been an uptick here in Central America with a 5.2 kicking off at Pardillon, Mexico at 81 kilometers depth. Could be another event happening shortly at the surface. So heads up to that region. No other quakes of note. Space weather. We had minor perturbations 6 hours ago, bringing us to KP4 geomagnetic instability, but nothing significant. Worldwide volcano news update. Sabancaya today, volcanic ash advisory. Ibu, Dukono, and Ibiku. We have continuous eruption at Dukono today. Check it out in the links below where it says show more. Live stream coming from Katie Unger is fantastic. This is just a few hours ago as the sun set over the Big Island. We'll run it. Fisher 8. Still active as usual, but no major seismic activity here at the caldera. Now that could mean that all of this rockfall has finally plugged that gigantic new opening, and that there's going to be a new periodicity in explosions, which are longer than every 24 hours, which has been regular for weeks. And we might see a new type of periodicity with a large explosive event happening in a longer period of time. So we're going to be watching this closely. Stay away from the big caldera. Thank you, Katie Unger. Give her a thumbs up. Tell her Oppenheimer Ranch sent you. And that's a boom. Let's get on with the update. Researchers discover volcanic heat under major Antarctic glacier. This probably led to the everyone getting their panties in a bunch about the rapid melting of the Antarctic ice sheet, which is totally unfactual. It's actually growing while volcanoes are erupting beneath it. So read the article, get updated. This is coming out of 5 scientists discovered an active volcanic heat source beneath the Pine Island Glacier in Antarctica. I believe it's the University of Rhode Island. Graduate School of Oceanography. Yes. Check it out. Judge tosses the climate change lawsuits against big oil. Yeah, because it's nonsense and a fraud. They spin it the way they want to talk about it, but it's garbage. Multiple sources confirm climate change adjustments are clearly fraudulent, including the man hockey shtick here, which is just fake. Not only are the adjustments suspect, the temperature reconstructions are a complete and utter joke. Here is the man hockey stick, and the thing doglegs 2 times exactly when the construction methodology changes, because it's a fraud. Amazing how a break in slope appears when the switch of methodologies from tide gauges to satellites, including adding a completely fake global isostatic adjustment. So there's your catastrophic sea level rise and why the Statue of Liberty level in Hudson Bay, which is at sea level, hasn't changed in 157 years because they're lying to you. They're absolutely a fraud factory. So check it out. This is an awesome article. This page isn't working, but it's good news. NOAA is set to abandon climate change mission. Yes, it's true. The National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, may be about to remove climate change from its list of core priorities because they've been frauds and they don't want to be sued. Yes, it's true. Guys, this is coming from our listener up in British Columbia, I believe, Brian Lee. This is his nasturtium before, and this is his nasturtium after the hail. Indeed, that's a boom. David Troutman sends Oppenheimer Ranch some amazing photos. He's in Colorado. Look at the Riverstone work here. This is a subsurface Wallapini pit greenhouse in Nachorita. I don't know how to say it. I guess so. It's absolutely amazing. Here he has a drip irrigation system, drip-fed Rocky Ford melons using buffered city water. Acidification of tap water inverts chlorine and lowers pH, unlocks those natural minerals already in the soil, on and on. Check out the pictures. It's absolutely like a buried city. Amazing. Thank you, Troutman. Would you like 20% off your order? No. What is lacto-fermentation? You should know about it. This is how you're going to survive and thrive in the future. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance, and this is part of your planning. Lacto-fermentation. Not only that, fermentation is as old as life itself. It also gives you life. It is life-giving. Ferment your food. You first grow your own food, then you ferment it and make it more healthful and last longer. So, learn about lactic bacteria. You can learn about fermented foods, beginning fermented vegetables, and on. Yes. Everything you need to know about lacto-fermented foods is in this link. It's just downloading. Aside from freezing the traditional canning methods, there's another way to preserve fresh produce from the growing season to enjoy year-round, and it's called lacto-fermentation. It keeps the colors, and it also adds to your gut biome. If you don't know about what I'm talking about, Google it. Do your own homework. You need to learn how to be self-resilient, self-reliant, self-sufficient, healthy to survive and thrive in the future. Now, lacto-fermentation is a way to go. Yep, add Power Pack Superfood veggies every day to a meal. Common types are Lactobacillus bulgaricus, Streptococcus thermophilus, Leuconostoc. Mostly when it comes to LF vegetables, the bacteria used are Lactobacillus. That's why it's lacto-fermentation. Why am I talking about this? Because you need to know about it. And one of our subscribers is leading the field. Welcome to Fermenti. FermentiFoods@gmail.com. Now, this is Lars Peterson, subscriber, friend of the channel. And he's basically did what Lee and I are doing now years ago. He perfected off-grid sustainability, organic biodynamic farming, and then he got into fermenting because he was growing his own food. And this simply helped him to survive and thrive in the off-grid scenario. It gave him optimal health, and now he wants to share it with the public. So come out and check out his page. He basically has devoted his life to teaching people how to ferment food using lacto-fermentation processes. You can see his new products that he offers at his farmer's market. He also helps run this huge festival on lacto-fermentation, the Fermenting Festival. He has recipes, Q&A, and more here at fermenti.biz. So come over and check it out. simple kraut. There's scalable recipes. He's done Facebook group meetups, and his name is Lars Peterson, and he's a friend of the channel. I'm sure he would love to talk to you. So come check him out here. I'm sure there's links to get in touch with him. Let's talk about Anita Bailey's PDF. And I have an amazing message to tell everyone that watches the channel. Anita is going to offer this free to the public. This is a comprehensive research piece that she has been working on for months, tirelessly. It's the most comprehensive document on EMP and CME preparedness as we descend into the grand solar minimum, preparing for the risks of the electrical grid disruptions that are inevitable. There are no ifs, ands, and buts about it. We are not going to get away from this. And you read this paper and you'll find out why. And you continue to watch the channel, and we're going to keep you updated on how you can prepare and the state of space weather. So when the event does come, you will have 24 to 72 hours to get ready. And right here, she set up a website. I'm going to leave you links below where you can click this PDF symbol to get the PDF for free. Dr. Bailey, who's going to be on the radio show tomorrow night, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down for you, sentence by sentence, so you can clearly understand the threat that's coming and how you need to prepare for it. The most important thing you can start doing is learn how to grow your own food, because when the grid fails, so will the supply chain. And when that ends, in 1 week, the entire population is going to be starving. Click the PDF, get the link. Get informed. Don't be scared, be prepared. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance where we're headed. And thanks to Dr. Roy Spencer and other scientists with a backbone like myself, we're going to preserve the real data. We're going to document what happens as the sun shuts down and as our magnetosphere wanes, because we're at a point in history where we have public access to so much information that we can document it like this. Continue to watch, share this with like-minded people, subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and be safe. We love each and every one of you. And that is a boom.